The algorithm we just saw in our example. This type of algorithm is called a straight line algorithm because the steps are executed sequentially, meaning they're performed in order from beginning to end. This is the algorithm we saw in our example, but an additional step's been added. Now, instead of walking straight through the algorithm from beginning to end, we've added a conditional statement in step 4 that allows us to perform a test. We begin as we did before. We boil 6 cups of water in a medium-sized pot. We add macaroni and boil for 7 minutes. But this time, instead of proceeding to drain it, when we reach step 4, we check to see whether or not the macaroni is done. We perform a test. If it's not done, we boil it for another minute. If it is done, we skip over this step and complete the rest of the algorithm as before. Whether or not we boil the macaroni for another minute is dependent upon whether or not the macaroni is done. Here's the same algorithm we saw in our earlier example, but with a new step added. In this algorithm, we complete all the steps up to and including boiling the macaroni for 7 minutes. But then we enter an iterative or looping operation. In this step, we test to see if the macaroni is done. While it's not done, we boil it for another minute and test again. If it's still not done, we boil it for another minute. We continue testing and boiling it for another minute until it is done. Once the macaroni is done, which could be after just 7 minutes, we complete the remaining steps in the algorithm.